Good morning, bitches.
Hello.
Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Stephen.
If you're thinking that the theme tune sounded a little weird there, I had to tune the guitar down half a step for the song we're doing at the end of this.
And boy, is it a doozy.
Mm-hmm.
So, welcome to Tuesday.
Yes.
Welcome to Good Morning, Bitches. We are excited today to talk about
Appetite for Destruction.
Appetite for Destruction, the debut album by Guns N' Roses, which, you know, to call it, you know, an album that came out of nowhere, a groundbreaking album from a new band. First album, debut album, first track is Welcome to the Jungle. Hello, were you just gonna kick the door in and invite yourself in? Like,
well,
you
know what's interesting is that it wasn't a hit.
No, it wasn't. I think Sweet Child of Mine was the only number one hit on that album.
But I mean, the album came out June 1987, and the critics weren't very psyched about it, and it didn't sell much. It like debuted at like 188 or something.
Yeah.
It got to number one the next
year after its release
because of Sweet Child of Mine. Yeah, it's
quite a statement. Still, it is a statement piece. The entire album.
Yeah, I mean, so 1987, I was 5. You were 3.5.
Yes. Yeah.
We did not get into this record when it came out.
No.
So when do you think you were first aware of it?
I mean, I knew about Guns N' Roses because, I mean, when I was really young, because of MTV.
Right.
And because of, like, Beavis and Butthead, you know, because of The Real World, because of, like, just the general atmosphere. But I didn't listen to Appetite for Destruction as a full album front to back until I was in high school when I had it on cassette tape.
Mm-hmm.
And I would listen to it in my car, first car, my little Mitsubishi Mirage. That used to be my mom's car. And like, again, as discussed many times before, like I was very much into punk in high school, but this album just like it just took over. It traversed all of that. Like it wasn't really punk. It was
it's like
something else. It's not. It is hair metal, but it's like also not.
Yeah.
It's glam, but not like fancy glam. It's like sleazy. You know what I mean? It's like so just like
it's
fuck
dirty.
you,
It's
like
real
dirty, sleazy LA glam rock, which is like a genre I did not know existed.
Yeah.
And that maybe did, because as I discovered while doing a tiny bit of research on this about 5 minutes ago, Guns N' Roses was formed by the members of 2 other bands, the LA Guns and the Hollywood Roses, which I think it's safe to assume, were also LA glam.
I like that both of them
bands
included the location in their band.
Yes.
It's really nice.
Well, because that's like such an integral part of the like the genre, the sound is that like dirty LA Hollywood like excess, but again, like not elegant or glamorous at all.
Yeah, I mean everybody looks filthy, like every photo of them.
Yeah.
They all look like they need a good bath. I was trying to work out where I was aware of them. And I think possibly when I first knew about them would have been November Rain, which was like 91.
Yeah.
So I was 9. And I remember that ridiculous music video. That woman's tiny wedding dress. Slash playing his guitar solo out on the prairie or wherever he is. Like, I do remember that video being like, what is this? Do I love it? Because my parents certainly were not listening to Guns N' Roses, but like I did love watching music video TV, which wasn't MTV because I was growing up in the UK and that was for rich people. But as I mentioned before, ITV's The Chart Show. 1 hour every Saturday, just play music videos.
Yeah.
Apparently they already had November Rain and they almost put it on Appetite for Destruction. But then they didn't, they already had Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah.
Both of them, which I think is smart.
I think that was a good call.
I'm not sure that anybody would have bought November Rain from a brand new band.
No, I think you're right. It needed to be established.
Because that thing is like the borderline Phantom of the Opera.
Oh my god, it is. It's like such a like epic drama.
Yeah. I mean, especially with the video.
Yeah, totally.
So I remember, I actually do remember watching specifically Paradise City.
Oh my god,
video.
I loved, when I was like a kid, much before my high school time, I really loved that song. Like I remember it being on the radio.
Well, the video was just like them playing it live.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it got reissued or something. I don't know why I would have seen it. Because I was like 4. Am I doing math wrong? 06. Maybe, actually it's 6. Maybe I did catch it on TV. But you have a very vivid memory of watching the November Rain video for sure. And also Paradise City. But it was also just like, I don't think I put together other songs. I mean, the thing is, let's be real. For people our age, this is a record that teenage boys learn to play on the guitar really badly. Like, how many boys have we heard trying to play Sweet Child of Mine? I mean, I'm about to murder one of the songs at the end of this episode. Don't get me wrong. But I spent a maximum of 2 evenings trying to work it out versus just, the masturbatory guitar habits of teenage boys.
Yeah.
But so I think I knew the songs because of boys playing them and stuff, I think.
I mean, because it had always, I knew so many of these songs as standalone songs throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
When the like cassette tape, I'm pretty sure it was given to me by a boy in my high school who was in my shop. Pretty sure it was Marcus Cheney. Anybody that goes to high school that would ever watch this and went to high school with me would know that probably was what it was. He was also really good at doing the Axl Rose dance.
Mm-hmm. That was really important. And being able to say
yeah. It's not as easy as you think it is.
No,
really. So I hadn't heard of those songs as a complete album, which is why I think when I like got the tape and I put it in the cassette deck in my car and I like started it and fucking Welcome to the Jungle was the first song. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then it just kept hit after hit after hit. And even the songs that weren't hits, because as discussed, none of them were actually hits. So many fucking bangers on this album. Like Mr. Brownstone, My Michelle. I love that song. I like know it's cool. I mean, all of these songs
they're all pretty cool.
Pretty. Yeah, exactly. Still, they're so good and they're so catchy and they are like, they're aggressive, but like catchy. The riffs are so good and like
I think that it's worth having a conversation about the riffs. Because
talk to us about the riffs.
So I forget what the deal is with Slash. I think his dad works in the music industry. I think he had been around musicians his whole life. He's obviously an incredible guitar player, but he can do very, very, very fast like fills and runs that beyond me because I never ever practiced or in fact learned scales. But his like riffs are actually very playable, and they tend to just form these songs around riff after riff after riff after riff, which is kind of how I write songs. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really all I had to say about riffs.
That's all that needs to be said about the riffs. And you know them. You know, when you hear these songs, you like know what the hook is. But when we were like trying to put these songs together, we're like, you know what parts are what parts, but in between all the parts are these like weird little noodly interludes, and then you just don't know where you are anymore.
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I actually listened to the album as a whole until much, much later, like well into my 20s. I've never owned it, but so it would probably have been in the era of Spotify, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there was something about, because Guns N' Roses still seemed like a big divergence from like the the tunnel vision that I kind of had in high school with music. It did feel like one of the first times where something that was old, that was like older music, could like leap over, you know what I mean? Could like cross the boundary, and I could still be like, this fucking rocks. Like, this is good. And you know what? Fuck it. If it's not punk, I don't care. It sounds good. It's still got that like rebellious streak in it.
Yeah.
I also really love the album cover. I think the cover design is like really funny.
Well,
it's
so
really crazy.
Apparently there was another album cover first, and it was like based on a painting, and it was like a robot rapist about to be like avenged by some, like that would like it was a bit much. And
I'm glad they toned it down.
Yeah, stores were like,
no.
So the painting that's on the one that we all know as the Appetite for Destruction cover, I think already existed in some form.
Yeah, because it is also very of its time, and it's like in a way kind of speaks to that like LA Gothic Hollywood noir kind of.
I can't remember the name of the artist. I remember reading an interview with him about it, because it kind of like I think they knew him from being around.
Yeah.
But this kind of kicked off. But he's an artist. He's not a graphic artist.
I mean, there are many, many, many heavy metal album covers that have spawned 1,000 tattoos, but like other than maybe any Iron Maiden album, I feel like that like cross with the skulls and the Guns N' Roses dudes in it is like up there among tattoos that people got in the late 80s.
Maybe. I don't think I've ever seen a Guns N' Roses tattoo, honestly.
I don't know. I couldn't pinpoint a person who's done it, but I feel like it was just out there.
Probably. Yeah, maybe it's just being in a different country, but
maybe.
I feel like the band that I've seen the most tattooed, like heavy rock band I've seen the most tattoos for, it's Led Zeppelin. I've seen it, and a lot of that was when I used to go to the Reading Festival when I was a teenager, because there would always be like older dudes with their shirts off. And I remember being behind, I don't know what band I was watching, some dude that had you know the Swan Song painted logo thing that's on the, I mean, I guess it's a label, but it's on all of the Zeppelin records. He had that tattooed on his back. Huge. And I just remember like standing there through this band that were clearly not holding my attention.
Yeah.
Just looking at the detail on this man's tattoo.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that like the Guns N' Roses logo was a very popular tattoo motif for a minute.
Makes sense.
You know, influential. I'll say it. Guns N' Roses, influential.
Yeah, I mean,
in many ways.
Everything that happened afterwards doesn't like detract from this one record. I mean, I was thinking the other day, like, if there's kids today who are like, oh, Guns N' Roses, I'm going to check them out, and they look at Spotify, that Chinese Democracy is going to be, like, on a visually on the same plane as all the other records. Right. They're not going to have the context, which I think is really it's a really interesting way for people to be, like, finding these bands. Because, like, Spotify will be, like, it will show them more popular records. Right. But it generally shows you in reverse chronological order. So you're going to be like, Chinese democracy. I guess that's the one to check out first.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're ready to do the song.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. With apologies to every teenage boy who spent much more time trying to learn this than I have.
I'm not sorry.
We're gonna need the words. You're gonna need the words. Yeah. We'll be back on Thursday. We're gonna be talking about Jeff Buckley and Beck.
Mm-hmm.
See you then. Ready?
Sure. This is the part where there would be sirens and or absolute screaming. You decide.
It's his voice.
But it sounds like sirens.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want, but we know the name.
We are the people that can find whatever you may need. If you got the money, honey, we got your disease in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, won't you bring it to you? Knees. I'm gonna watch you bleed.
Welcome to the jungle. Take it day by day. If you want it, gonna believe it. That's the price you pay.
And you're a very sexy girl, very hard to please. You can taste the bright lights, but you won't get that for free in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, won't you feel my serpentine? I wanna hear you scream.
Welcome to the jungle. It's voice here every day. Learn to live like an animal. Jungle where we play.
You gotta hung up for what you see. We'll take it eventually. You can have everything you want, but you better not take from me in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, watch it bring it to ya. Knees. I'm gonna watch you bleed.
When you're high, you never ever wanna slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die.
Welcome to the jungle, won't you bring it to ya? Knees. Welcome to the jungle, won't you bring it to ya? Knees. Jungle. Welcome to the jungle, won't you feel my serpentine? Welcome to the jungle, won't you bring it to ya? It's gonna bring you down. Huh. Yeah.
Kind of. All right.
That was fun. Everyone, go listen to Appetite for Destruction this week. Just for
that's
fun.
your homework.
That is your homework. You'll enjoy it.
All right. We'll see you Thursday.
Bring back a cowbell for this one.